Freaky Fast Broadcasting for the whole set racing series. It's season 5, race 15, the last race of the regular season. Brian McCann has already crowned himself the regular season champion, but the field, there's
Richmond
open to make the playoffs, and let's see who's going to make it in. As your starting results going to be Brandon Colley taking the pole award for the 99 machine who needs a win to find himself into the playoffs or outpoint.
Screwed up my first lap in qualifying. Had to go with my second one.
Place with Brian McCann in third. Cedric Hunter, who's in a must-win scenario, going to be in fourth. Zach Hall in fifth.
No fear, though.
Dominant driver here at Richmond. Going to be starting in sixth place with Will Bustler in seventh. Tony Brent.
Hey, repeat. Long time no talk.
And Campbell, last driver to win here.
Hey, Brian, good to hear your voice again.
Christopher Norris will be in 11th with Andrew Medlin in 12th place. Jonathan Burt will start in 13th. John Dart will be 14th with Alex Jones in 15th. Jay Becker will start in 16th with William Duff in 17th. Tyler Thomas.
Gotta get it back in race trim.
Siegel 19th. Ryan Lynch will be in 20th.
Okay.
Dalton Alexander will roll off 21st.
Only got 4 tires over the wall.
22nd. And then Cole Sicchetti and Bill Dart will round out our 24 drivers here tonight, Sam.
That we're going to pit that many times. But if it is caution, I do want tires.
In a chance to point his way
Yes.
to the playoffs if things go lining up perfectly. These drivers tonight going to be running 200 laps. Stage break at the end of lap 6. Road drivers to grab some bonus points there. No fast repairs. I think that's going to be interesting to think if we get a lot of caution starting to balloon out tonight. 4 extra.
Little oscillating wheel here.
What could the tire situation be? But if there aren't a lot of cautions, the fuel situation is going to be at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's going to be pit strategy could be key here with how much
Just warming them up for you, that's all.
That pit stop, if we do get long green flag runs, when you decide to make that pit stop with fresh tires, as fresh tires are going to be the preferred way. The undercut might be the way to go. Questions that will be answered once we get this race going, Sam. But Brandon Colley needing, coming.
All right, buddy, 1 of 200 coming up. 60 is the stage break.
Position hero of the night.
A long way to go, short time to get there.
Watch out for Andrew Medlin in 12, but as well, Chris Stitz isn't in the safest position for the 17 machine, because if Stitz doesn't get a good points day, nor does Andrew Medlin.
Hey, Charles, how's it going?
Brandon Colley could really jump up and find himself fighting for even 12th in points.
Oh, 2 to go.
Be the cutoff driver. If Cedric Hunter wins, that could be someone else to watch out for, as the field is set, lined up.
What's the odds on turn 1 wreck?
Prepared as short track take 2 laps to do a
If it happens, as long as it's way behind you, I don't care.
It's been.
We only got 24 people in here.
I mean, you look at how this field's been.
Yep.
Trevor, Brian McCann, he's been the ultimate dominator this season with all the wins he's collected. Total
All the way back to Bill Dart. Andrew Medlin is starting 12th.
tonight. It's going to be a tough track. Short tracks of
Zach Hall's 5th. Chris Stitz 9th.
but he will be starting in third.
Ken Campbell 11th. Jonathan Burt and all them back there.
For himself at all.
Good luck, sir.
Come to short tracks, you got
Thank you.
Ross Tatum, he won back at Dover. He's usually pretty quick around the short tracks. Ken Campbell in the 15, another strong one to watch out for. Cameron Sarton, this is his favorite track, as well as some big hitters throughout the field that the 8
Good jump.
these guys are going to have to contend with.
As we've got the 8 machines camera on screen. Going to be starting at the bottom on the second driver on the inside.
21's going to come up to your outside. 7's going to stay with you. You are clear up.
Outside. All clear, all clear.
You got the line still clear.
The second to last race of the season is underway. As the 99 going to take the easy push and forward gap for himself. It's Ross Tatum trapped on the outside lane, still side by side with McCann, but under fire now from Cedric Hunter.
Yeah, Tatum didn't get the best of starts there. Lost a little bit of time. Going to lose that position to Brian McCann. Cedric Hunter, who was aggressive through 1 and 2, trying to almost force it 3 wide. He's going to look for the inside. Back down here in turn number 1, the inside of that 21 of Ross Tatum. Zach Hall just going to sit there and wait. 99, the 8 clears. That battle for third continues at a 2.
So battles continue on.
I don't know if I agree with that line he's running.
There's a different schemes, and if you watch NASCAR in the past, you also might recognize some of these schemes are being ran. It's
Well, you're definitely welcome to try whichever you want. He did just put down the fastest time, of 22.5.
scheme.
You got a 56, you got a 57, behind you an 83 and 89.
Position. A key factor here tonight. Cedric Hunter up
Second lap ain't what you want to be fast on. You want to be fast on the 60th.
racing 200 laps. This could be a long.
That's right.
Drivers they're not careful and they don't protect their equipment as well as others do.
Yeah, it can be a really long.
I still ain't even got my groove yet.
Wall a couple times can really upset the balance of the race car, and just being stuck back in traffic, the dirty air can really be harmful for some.
There we go. Now it turned down.
They have their hands full tonight.
Took a little bit for them tires to get in.
You got to get in your own groove.
We got some side-by-side battle between Chris Stitz and Will Bustler through 3.
And that's the battle for 7th place, up 2 spots.
What was that, lap 3?
He tries to move forward. Chris Stitz running the Mountain 2 throwback scheme for Dale Earnhardt Jr. from 2009.
You were faster than first and third that last lap.
Majority of the drivers stuck in the middle of the pack. That is where the Hornets' nest is. As the field is trying to make their way forward around that 10th place position. Ken Campbell in 12.
You got a full second back to P3, pulling away.
Seeing the blue running extremely wide in Andrew Medlin. 3 pretty fast racing drivers trying to advance forward best that they can. And Andrew Medlin.
He's running the wrong line into 1 and 2, I think.
He only had a 3-point buffer over Andrew, that of Brandon Colley and Jonathan.
That right front's going to be mad at him.
Just got to run your own.
Yeah, Colley not Colley. That of Medlin just needs to slowly work his way up through the field.
I don't think I've ever seen that line.
For him, he's got Christopher Norris, Ken Campbell behind him, drivers that already have wins and are locked into the playoffs, so they'll probably cut him a little bit of a break. And in front of them is going to be that 6th of Jonathan Burt, who I believe was only about 18 points from.
You're making big gains on him on the back stretch.
He's going to be a tough one for that 12 to get by, and if he's not careful, Sam could really burn up his equipment and might cost him to fall out of the stage points if he gets up there battling with that 6 machine.
Yeah, and Jonathan Burt, driver that this is a great step for himself. Up 4 positions, one of the biggest movers so far.
So he pulls you a little bit off of 4, but down the backstretch you kill him.
Up 7 positions, back in 16th. That's because he did not qualify. So out of 42, he's going to be expected to be one of the biggest movers of the night. We can get through this traffic cleanly. Drivers up front, top 10. It is Jonathan Burt up 4 spots, your biggest mover of that grouping.
Oh, it's time.
Says you're seeing our top 2 already with a pretty decent
little brake bias adjustment.
Ahead of Cedric Hunter. Hunter is really those tires in 7, and it's starting to irritate us right on board.
Lap 10.
The 3-time winner here at Richmond, the 4 times they've been here in the past. He won season 1 through 3. They wasn't able to show that same pace last season.
Last lap 22.98, leaders 22.97.
Yeah, he talked about it last week after the interview in Vegas. He was really looking forward to this, wanted to get a good qualifying run. Qualified up in 6th position, but still running in 6th position right here behind Zach Hall and Ross Tatum. I guess they're saying Tatum looks a little bit frustrated with that 7 machine and how he's kind of holding him up here. Kind of wants to get by him, but hasn't laid the bumper to him yet, but hasn't also had an opening to get by that 7 machine.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that talk, maybe you're giving up too much time protecting your equipment, and for Cedric Hunter, it might be that. Too much. Start off this race already running slower than our top 2, and now running still about 10 slower. It's just a lot of time being given up, and now it's hurting Ross Tatum because now Zach Hall.
You were half a tenth faster that last lap.
Trying to bounce to the outside.
Yeah, that little checked up there gave Zach Hall an opportunity to look to the inside, but not able to prevail with that. That might allow Cameron Sarton to maybe look to the inside of the 34. But
he's starting to lose the drive off on 4.
I mean, they've already lost about 2 seconds back to that of the 8 machine as we fall further on back here in the field with the 28 machine of Tony Brent running, I believe, a Jeff Burton throwback running back there in 12th position.
Yeah, that used to be the 99 number. It's always weird when people run their throwback scheme. They're used to a number attached to the scheme, but it's different. It's the 28 of Tony Brent, our Daytona winner, starting the season, who is locked into the playoffs. Excited to see what Brent's going to give to this field. As we fall back now to the 20, that of the 42. Cole Sketty makes mover already up 9 positions, running his Adam Petty scheme of the spree scheme back in the day. As he's having fun trying to get through the field in its colorful.
Done a really good job of blind spots. They just got around Alex Jones in the 45 and made a little bit of contact with the wall out of turn number 2. But I think we'll see that a lot tonight. Drivers are just pushing a little bit too hard on corner exit, but right now, Zucchetti cut through.
Faster than the leader, 4 out of the last 5 laps, 2 seconds back to 3rd.
Tony Brent, they got a little bit of a gap, about a half a second, or about a second to go run down that 28 machine.
Caught the apron on that one.
It's going to be some good clean air. Got to figure out
You're good.
where your vehicle is feeling out after those 9 positions being gained. I think this is the best scenario that Cole's going to get asked for, especially with the knowledge we do have that stage break at the end of lap 60 as just closing in the first third of this stage. And right now, it's been all Brandon Colley, as you're seeing fill-in driver Dalton Alexander trying to get by William Duff and John Dart. John Dart back in 19th position. This is not a good spot for the 5 to be in. Now, he had himself a 20-point buffer over 11th place in points. Chris Stitz, and Stitz currently inside of our top 10. Not a lot of bonus points to be grabbed in 7th place, but you don't want to be back in 19th and then also losing more ground. That could be bumping you with a little bit of a swap on who's going to be 10th or 11th.
23.19.
Yeah, it's kind of a rough spot for him to be at, not getting the stage points, but you know, maybe going on that prerogative that
he ran a 19, you ran an 18.
It happens. I'm not going to be involved in it. Won't take myself out, but you know, losing valuable points to that of Chris Stitz, Andrew Medlin, even Brandon Colley. I mean, points given up, but trying to protect that race car.
Trying to protect the race car, as both Dart brothers going to be back in 19th and 20th position.
Full 10th faster that lap.
Dalton Alexander, other drivers in this pack. You also have that William Duff talked about, and also Jay Becker. But our top two,
he's starting to really back up the corner.
And it's Brandon Colley, Brian McCann. McCann, after getting by Cedric Hunter, really is just set and waited on this 99 machine. I'm curious on how this car is feeling. I've talked to a lot of different competitors on their thoughts on how some of these races have gone, and it feels like there's a lot of tension around Brian McCann, as dominance always at tracks that seem to be pretty tight, where you're using a lot of the wheel to turn. And this 8 machine, I'm curious if they're feeling a little bit of that tight sensation. That's where we're seeing this speed from the 8 machine.
It could very well be. He's got a little bit of a different entry, a later apex through the corner than that of Brandon Colley. Colley running a little bit shallower of a line, and that might be playing into the 8's, you know, hand here, able to rotate that car a little bit better for himself. But again, just kind of can't get that momentum up off the corner. Colley with a little bit better drive off and keeping that gap at about 2/10 between those two. And again, they're still gapping that of Cedric Hunter now almost to 2.5 seconds back to 3rd place.
Protecting those tires still is the 7. Maybe just waiting for that natural swing of when he's saved enough and it feels like, all right, we're in a comfortable zone. Still halfway through this stage, might take off and try to gain back the 2 seconds that have been lost so far. Cedric Hunter, Ross Tatum still just
half 10 faster that lap.
Back. The likes of Zach Hall and Cameron Sarton and Chris Stitz trying to close in on the gap if possible. But this grouping of 4 drivers of Hunter, Tatum, Hall, Sarton, if Cedric
still 2 seconds back to 3rd.
This is going to be a strong grouping of drivers to watch out for in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be a really stacked playoff field. I mean, it already kind of feels that way with who's in there, but you had 2 more kind of wild card guys. If Brandon Colley, Cedric Hunter can both make it in, that's a really tough field that these guys are going to have to deal with. Ross Tatum a little bit loose out of 2 down the back straightaway, losing a little bit of time here, falling back into the clutches of 32 of Zach Hall. But it's going to take a little bit more effort from that 7. I think he's going to have to get up there and potentially win this race if he wants to find himself in that playoff contention in 2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, we will not be having a playoff race starting next week. The reason why we've got Follow Me next week, so taking a day off are these drivers in Full Set Racing Series. They'll be back in November 7th. Driver will circle the Roval, the first race of the playoffs, to finish out the round of 12, heading to Nashville Super Speedway, where they take Thanksgiving off, and then the round of 8 begins at Auto Club Bristol, where they have the championship race at Kansas. And I gotta say, Trevor, looking at that playoff schedule, it's a good schedule. Zach Hall goes extremely wide, trying that different entry, but the exit, the speed is not where he was hoping for. At least enough momentum to hold back for 5th place.
Yeah, not sure if you wanted to go up there and try that outside line, or maybe
doing really well, very consistent, Brian.
Overdrove the entry to 3, drifted up the racetrack, but you can use that outside line a little bit on newer tires, really kind of pinch the car below you, get that drive off. But I don't think Zach Hall really wanted to be up there this time around, back to the bottom, and trying to run back down the lost time that he gave up there.
Yeah, I know I've seen, vehicles, especially Richmond at night. That outside lane can start to click in, get enough rubber up there, but it just doesn't look to be the place you want to be at. Yes, a little bit of blinking action. Chris Stitz, this is one of 2-3 times that happens during a race. He's hoping that this is not the one that will take the 17 out of the playoffs, because a bad night with Stitz potentially is still not back. That is, he finally clicks back going to be back in 7th place. That was the longest that Stitz has blinked out. That was a huge scare for the 17. I thought maybe he actually was going to be left out here tonight.
Yeah, that was a pretty long time to be gone. Typically, when somebody's gone that long, you think the worst. But thankfully for Stitz, internet kind of stabilized for himself back there in seventh place. But same right here for that of 10th. I mean, this is the last point, stage bonus point here. And Andrew Medlin under fire from his teammates, and that 12 machine really looking like it's struggling here. And then the 42 of Cole Sacchetti not too far. He's joined this train of drivers as well.
Up 10 spots, about to make it up 11 is Cole Sacchetti in the 42, trying his chance to attack the three fast racing drivers. He's gotten by most of Texas speed, and also following behind Tony Brent, going to be following this 42. That's not a bad call for Brent. Follow one of the fastest drivers in the league, and then Cole Sacchetti was gone for majority of the season. The 42, always a strong contender at these short tracks, especially here at Richmond. He knows where the speed can be found, and another driver that I know can be quick is Christopher Norris. Curious if he's just settling in, playing a little bit of gunner action, trying to help out Medlin.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way that Medlin, or that Norris and Campbell kind of playing rear gunner here for the 12 of Andrew Medlin. And right there, Cole Sacchetti almost got into the side of the 38 of Norris. He was really slow on the exit of turn number 2, but I mean, we saw that last season with Ken Campbell trying to do the same thing for Andrew Medlin, and it always ended up with one or both of them being involved in an incident. And here tonight, really easy to have that same issue we almost saw at that previous lap.
But, I mean, you also got to look back to teammates. You got Zach Hall, who's already locked in. Christopher Norris and Ken Campbell already locked in. They're trying to get
still 2+ back to P3.
Racing driver into the playoffs, if possible. As we drop back to the fight for 21st position, Ryan Lynch, Sam Siegel have their fight between one another, and as well, Bill Dart able to get by Alex Jones. Jones has been struggling. The 45 not comfortable here at Richmond. He's had a couple of, it looks like tires just not at the spot that you like him to be, a little bit too tight. That allows Bill Dart to move up to 23rd and now trying to attack Sam Siegel of this 55 machine.
Try to get there up to Sam Siegel running the bottom. Siegel about half the groove off. Alex Jones falling back 9 spots from where he started, so really struggling as Ryan Lynch kind of driven away from these guys trying to run down the 11th Tyler Thomas. But Siegel, Bill Dart still battling here out of turn number 2, just still not quite close enough to maybe get underneath him, but both of them with a little bit of wiggle attitude.
And as we move on, battling that's going on in 15, 16 position, that's actually the battle for 17th.
Good run off.
Star Jay Beckert almost getting into one another.
Almost
able to move up to 17th place. John Dart be trying to take that spot away, and it looked to be, the way we're starting to see drivers make the swing. We are now past the halfway point of the stage break at the end of lap 60. Those drivers that were saving their tires, looks like they're now on the march to try to move forward, as that Travis Dart now aiming for Dalton Alexander for a pass to get up to that of 16th place.
With Dart brothers locked in a battle here side by side, you've got Travis trying to get by Dalton Alexander. You've got John trying to get by Jay Becker. It looks like Travis going to get that pass down to the 3 and 4. John Dart still stuck side by side with the 10 coming out of 4, and that battle is going to continue. Same across the start finish line.
Continues forward in the 5 machine. This track
starting to catch up to the tail end of the field.
For himself, wants to at least stay inside the top 15. If that John Dart can be in the top 15, doesn't have to worry about any issues from Chris Stitz or Andrew Medlin. Those points feel secured for the 5, but Stitz needs 7. Trying to grab as many bonus points as possible. Then he can fight for track position, moving up in position, but John Dart, Jay Becker still fighting side by side for this 18th spot as we're 40 laps in, and it's all Brandon Colley up front, still leading the way.
Still leading the way. That gap really hasn't changed much. It's fluctuated from about 3/10 to 2/10 to right on each other's bumper, but McCain hasn't been able to get that pass done. Colley looking really smooth out front in that clean air. And these two basically just running identical to one another. I'm sure Colley's going to do everything he can to stand to hold off that 8 machine and get the max bonus points that he can here tonight, as Andrew Medlin's falling out of the top 10 all the way back to 12th position.
Yeah, no bonus points for the 12 machine for where he tried. We have our that of Brian.
There you go.
Camera.
Take it.
Trying to bring in his karting experience into track racing here in Richmond. gate is looking.
Wasn't enough.
No. It was close.
Right now, trying to just put the pressure on Kali to force the 99 to make the mistake. He's the key thing here. Also trying to set up off the exit of the corners, trying to find that extra speed.
Got to keep in mind, he's going to be fighting for it.
Moves. So good
Yeah,
setups,
he will be.
learning lessons of, okay, I see.
I'm just hoping that you can get it done before you catch the lap traffic.
Yeah, before.
That way it doesn't hold you up.
A little bit of a look where McCann could have taken it to the inside, but back out of it. Cut the 99 a little bit of a break there through there out of 4. Kind of surprised that he didn't go for that move, but nonetheless, just, hey, we've got such a big gap. No need to maybe put ourselves in a potential danger. He'll try to step back.
Go low, go low. There you go.
Further on back, no camera. Sorry, finally
Caution's out.
32 of Zach Hall.
Zach Hall has lost touch.
Oh boy.
As well, that of Central Hunter makes this group.
That was Tyler Thomas.
It's running up to the back bumper of Zach Hall. Soon to be Chris Stintz. He's running in the front bumper of the 32 machine, but caution flag is out. Trouble strikes, and it's the 11 and Tyler Thomas on the entry of turn 4, going 3. And it looks to be potentially
Hey, Brandon, I'm trying.
a mechanical issue for the 11.
Trying.
The way that car locked up, it might have been a steering wheel.
Yeah, I'm just keeping his mirror full right now.
Hear what happened to
All right, you got 4 tires,
road. So obviously
full of fuel,
11 as we get the replay.
and no tear off.
Out of 2, slaps the wall pretty hard, and then it looks like it just got stuck in the wall. Sam,
Give me the tear off.
Got stuck in the
Give me the
wall.
zero.
Steering wheel locked up. The way that it just stayed stuck, it looks like it's not allowing him to turn off of the wall. Yeah, he tries to move and he's stuck in the wall and then had to take the tow. And for Tyler Thomas, he was trying so hard to get that car unstuck.
He's doing good.
Position for the 11 machine to be.
All right,
Luckily,
that's it.
didn't blow
Go.
the engine while being stuck on the wall, but taking the tow,
Line up
it's going to
single
force him
file.
to be multiple laps down as well as bringing out our first caution.
I mean, he's made a few slight mistakes, but not enough to allow me to get around him.
Deciding to stay out, the other half coming into pit
I've
road.
probably done about the same myself.
The strategy calls are being placed.
We're
Those bonus
the leaders
points are
right behind
crucial,
you.
and here we
And
go,
you're
Trevor. The first gamble of the night.
yeah, first gamble of the night. Old tires, new tires. You're gonna have a 20-lap shootout, or about a 18-lap.
Got a bunch of old tires in front of us.
break here, Sam, and interesting call. I just
Yepper.
tires are gonna get by these older tires, but you just
Looks like top 12 stayed out.
in the speed that these guys are gonna have.
Well, here is your scenario of drivers that stayed out and those
Right,
that
got the
didn't.
field
Top
before you
11
finish.
drivers that are out on track right now, being led by Cameron Sarn, decided to stay
might be.
out. Coming into pit road, seeing the amount of drivers that stayed out, just drove through was Travis Dart in the 26.
Look at that tire wear. It ain't too bad.
Tires was going to be Brandon Colley in 13th place.
Let's see.
Cedric Hunter, Rod Statham, Will Bustler.
Not for 45 laps.
One driver did take
No.
2 tires. That was
82, 87, not bad at all.
20th position. Curious on what knowledge he's going to learn from that gamble, but going to be starting to look back at 20th. How are these front runners taking the advantage for this run for Cameron Sarton? I love this decision for the 24 because track position known to be very key. But if you're up front leading this race, it's a good spot because the driver that's led the most laps is the driver that finds himself in a victory lane. That's been the proven fact for the past 4 races that are here at Richmond.
Yeah, and not a bad call. That clean air.
Gonna be a 10-lap shootout to the stage.
Drivers between he
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Alex Jones in 20 or in the 20.
Well, wherever Kali goes, try to go with him. He makes a hole, you fill it.
But still a lot of cars at that 99's.
Then I don't know if I want to take tires again at the stage or not.
Good starts to this race, and with Andrew Medlin being further back down through the field, the 99 could really, even if he doesn't win the
All right,
stage,
man,
gain
we're
some
going green
valuable
next
points
time,
over
man.
that 12
All right, man,
machine,
line
as
up
long
on
as
the
he's careful
inside
getting
row.
through this traffic.
And that's that key word that you just said, be careful. The first 4 drivers you have to get by are drivers that have been outside of the top 15 all night long, and they have been running around that of about 2.
I think my best play here is to kind of play safe since I'm so far back.
So you have to be careful if you're in the 99 because on this race,
I don't want to wad my car up.
it's going to be a full about half a second, if not.
Boy, somebody around you was just revving the hell out of their engine.
And it is going to be an
Get ready.
11-lap dash to see who's going to be inside of our top 10 to get some bonus points. Cameron Sarton, Zach Hall, Cole Sagetti, Christopher Norris, They're taking.
All
All right, pace car's going to be pulling off. Watch out for the
tires be able to defend the 40
guys coming back to
tires.
wheel spin. That's what I was thinking of. There you go.
Chaotic. Trevor, I don't know if they're going to be able to survive.
99 got held up by the 3. You're 3 wide.
Usually when you come to Richmond,
Back double wide. Back 3, 7 and 3. 7 now outside.
excessive speed.
3 wide again. You're on the bottom. 21 with you. 30, 55 now behind you.
Green.
7 outside. 7 up front.
2, almost 3 car lengths ahead of the whole entire field.
All clear.
Got a great start there. Cole Sketty's going to slide his way up into second.
Come up to the 5. Down low. 3 wide.
Zach Hall trying to fight for him. Brandon Colley already forced it almost 3 wide.
77 up top.
5.
You are clear.
3 of Ryan Lynch. They're 3 wide. They're
Wide,
wide.
wide. As their Sam Siegel drops all the way back. The old tire's not feeling
Damn, I thought I was going to be able to get a
7
run.
down low.
straight for
21 now
work.
left rear.
drops back. Brandon Collins.
That screwed me.
The way is still Sard, and Sard needed that restart as the drivers are moving.
You got plenty of tire to pull off the corner.
He's already at 4 positions. From
I got a blocker.
He's going to be also having attached to that center Hunter. Brandon, that up Brian McCann. McCann is falling back. Hunter is decided to stay low with Collie. They're trying to work.
There you go. Take him in the middle.
Brian McCann.
There you
that's
go.
screwed.
Right behind you. Took out the leader.
Ooh, he's mad.
As the whole tire middle.
He had to get that win, too.
On old tires. First new. That's Collie really forced the issue to go 3 wide. He'll stay in line.
So Cameron Sarton.
In that colorful.
This won't be the stage. It's only lap 53.
Hell, I might get a
And everybody else in front of you stayed out.
I might get a little playoff point here. 5th.
Just got checked up.
I believe you will.
He got checked up. Collie tried to.
Collie looks fine though. It don't look like he's got any damage.
7 of Cedric Connor spins everybody.
Let me go back, take a look at his car.
Redland survives to
Get the start on the inside.
positions out of this, Sam, and
Their tires are hot now.
that's what you get. And
I just got mine warmed up a little
His
bit.
back end's jacked up. His left rear is kind of higher than it was.
chance at illegal expected.
What's this going to
Let's
be?
take a look at his fronts.
5, 6, about a 3-4 lap shootout.
The tap, just nowhere to go, and that.
I might be able to do it.
They're running about a half a second faster with fresh rubber compared to the
I
rest.
got to stay on the low side.
His fenders look pretty good.
Fresh rubber automatically taking the toe is the
Low
40.
side.
But yeah, he's jacked up on the left rear.
Also taking the toe as we see
10-4.
Cedric Hunter, as he's going to be seeing the slowdown just runs in. There's no way you can predict this, as you got the whole entire field behind on fresh rubber, following the 42 of Sacchetti, and once you slow down at the apex off, there's no way of recovering that speed, and all the faster drivers just pile in, and you know, luckily the big one that happened here, it could have been a lot worse. It was a lot more of just
Yeah, it was weird. It's like he never got on the throttle.
gracefully and not a lot of hard contact that we
I'm just glad he went left.
damage from the field. Obviously, it's
Right.
gonna hurt those.
I'm actually going back to watch it right now. Make sure he doesn't think you were pinching him.
Yeah, it's going to cost them some track position. Thankfully,
Oh no, the 15 was too slow. You had to go. Nope, that had nothing to do with you. You're good.
to recover up there and restart behind that 8 machine. So not too terribly bad for himself. Going to have a little bit of front and rear bumper damage, but I mean that's just kind of that accordion effect there with the 42 being slow on those old tires. That's what you get. Thankfully, no major damage for anybody, but Cole Sketty having to take the toe is going to put him at least a couple of laps down as he gets that sorted out. But we're going to stack it up. Sam, try it again, and this is going to be an even a shorter shootout. And we can
Where's that 2 to go at?
Yeah, update on.
There we go.
Currently 3 laps down. Going to be most likely 4 laps.
56, 57, 58. Oh, it's going to be 3 lap.
Miss under our first caution flag. He's back in on track, but is 4 laps down for the 11th machine. He was in pit road for over 3 minutes.
Lick it and send it. Full Send Racing League.
Coming to pit road, shocking.
Yipper.
Ryan Lynch isn't deciding to pit this go around, nor is William Dupp. You'd think, hey, if you're going to pit now, you might grab a couple of extra position and have a slight tire advantage for the drivers later on in the race, but they're going to stick to their guns, stay out. They want a slightly bigger advantage on the tire difference once the stage yellow comes out.
I mean, they could have pit, and you think about it, could have pit, flipped the stage.
You literally have 45 lap pressure tires.
And then had that track position once everybody else makes their pit stop. So interesting call from those.
Tiny track, though.
Come in to pit road here and get the
Yeah, very 3/4 mile D-shape oval. Absolutely.
in case something happens.
And that
Fun
turn
track.
one is horrendous on the brakes on the very bottom 3 wide.
Just a few extra laps of pressure rubber compared to those that pitted under our first yellow 10 laps ago. Are you looking for any slight advantage? You'd think maybe track position would be more important than that, but obviously the field thinking otherwise, as this
Cameron Sarton chose the inside.
Before the stage is done. So the drivers recognize every position counts. Top 10 drivers get bonus points. And right now, the only drivers inside of our top 10 on old tires compared to new, it's our top 4. Sarton, Hall, Norris, Campbell. Can they hold off McCann, Colley, Stitz?
Go.
Or Bird as we're hitting
He checked up before he hit the gas.
Sector Green Flag Racing. You are watching the Full Set Racing Series.
Your P4.
Last race of the regular season. Who's making the playoffs? Only 12.
32 outside.
Currently, we've got that 9 drivers already locked into the playoffs. Into the
Clear 32, 38 just got bubbled up to the outside.
Themselves and McCann, he's just got 1 driver to get by.
P2, clear up.
Yeah, just got to get by Zach Hall. Colley already going to go 3 wide. Ken Campbell moves up out of the way, but he's going to lose the spot to the one of Bustler, but pinches Bustler down. And try to hold.
Way to do it clean.
Thinking about sending it 3 wide. He's going to send it 3 wide to the inside of the one of Bustler. Colley around the outside, going to try to get to Zach Hall. McCann already up to second. Make that pass.
24's got nothing for you. Colley got blocked by the 24.
Advantage 2 left.
Yellow next time by.
He is over top 10 positions. Top 10 get bonus points. And Zach Hall trying to hold and defend the best that he can. He's got his teammate Andrew Medlin, though. Going to force it 3 wide. The 12 needs these positions. Zach Hall's going to try to give the speed.
Colley half second behind. No pressure.
Contact is Medlin. Not a great launch for the 12 machine. Both
you are the man, Brian.
Flag for the stage.
Way to drive through.
Cameron Sarton can pick kudos to the
Another playoff point.
Hold on for second place as long as he has. The rest
That's right.
still scattering on who's going to be getting the positions. But what?
Thank you, John.
Sarton,
how's it going?
Norris still in the top 5.
Should we get tires here?
Will hold back for themselves.
If you think it'll go green for a while.
That will be the stage.
Yeah, but how many green was that? That was only like
that was
5, maybe.
That was, yeah, about that.
2 different late restarts, and Trevor.
I'd say stay out.
Might not be over just yet.
Yeah, since it's early, I think stay out.
I think that's going to make that.
That way you have an extra set just in case. But I don't think we're going to use all 3 more.
Looking at it, 9 points to Brandon Colley. 6 points to, I believe, that of Andrew Medlin. 5 points.
Because it was like me, Colley, and then like 2 seconds behind, so I got some wiggle room.
Sam going into the second half of this race.
It would tie that on points on who would be 12th to 13th in points. Stitz is also.
Colley looks like he's coming in. Yep, everybody.
That 5 machine.
Let's see who's going to stay out here.
So closing in every.
It's going to be a lonely. It's going to be a lonely track, Brian.
We will step aside.
That'd be all right.
The stage is over. We got no more stage racing.
Yeah, you've got some that are staying out though.
Coming to pit road to get service done, but when we come back, we're going to give you the rest of the Green Flag Racing, Full Set Racing.
That paint scheme looks good though.
Speed Sim Racing 200 at Richmond. We'll be back.
Your Bud one? Yeah.
Let the 11.
All right, so Will Bustler, Jay Becker, Tony Brent, Alexander, Jones, Dart, and Dart stayed out. So you're going to have a 9-car gap before fresh tires.
9? That's good. We couldn't
and
ask
even
for
still,
anybody.
they all just came down on lap 45. So the tires are going to equalize by the time they catch up to you, if they get up to you.
Yeah, they're going to have to wear the tires out passing people.
Yep.
Getting hot in here. I got to turn my air conditioner on.
Brandon asked, what would Aaron Smith do?
Aaron Smith would get lucky as hell and win the race. That's what Aaron would do. I want to know who's paying.
He just enable his grip pack.
I want to know who Aaron is paying to throw them perfectly timed cautions in the IROC League to screw me every single race. Oh, Brian went into pits 1 lap early. Let's throw a yellow.
Pit road is closed.
Yeah, long race though. Hey Doug, how's it going? Thank you, I'm gonna try. If I somehow pull this one off, it'll be my 6th.
Brian, this ain't gonna work. They make it last. Bumping and banging to the end. They're beating banging for the lead. Sora's still with their shot here, coming off a 4. That's it.
It's
Bottom line, here it comes. Oh,
Hey Josh, thanks for the like.
it's gonna be that Nick Crawford.
And those were no easy ones by far.
And they just completely demolished one another. Driving down low, drifting up, trying to be the stealer. Cedric Hunter, he steals it. But
I hear you, Doug.
they wrecked. They wrecked each other. The top 2 bounced into
Me too.
another. Just too much of side drifting off of, and they gotta be careful. Oh no!
Thanks for the like, John.
Demolishes in the 28.
Green, green, green.
Good jump.
Welcome.
I forgot where my brake box is.
Man, so your full set racing series, race number 15, excessive speed sim racing 200 at Richmond. Well, the stage is over. Brian McCann, the stage winner, going to be the leading the charge. As we've got our top 8 drivers decided not to come into pit road. They're on older tires, but can the old tires hold back the speed? That's all the way back in 8th place, being led by Cameron Sarton. McCann's running well.
You dusted P2. You're already a second ahead.
Like contact, Jay Becker to the rest of the field stacks up. They're going to be 2 wide, 3 wide, and holding on as McCann just pulls away. They stay 3 wide with Will Butler stuck in the middle. Alex Jones going to be on the outside as they squeeze to the outside wall. They somehow keep it straight.
I don't know how they all kept that straight, Sam. I mean, Butler was all crossed up out of 2, but everybody scatters, everybody hangs on to it. This is exactly what the Aiden McCann needed on those older tires, trying to get that gap back to the fresh tires, which is led by the 24 of Cameron Sarton. He's now to the inside of Will Butler's 3 and 4. You see John Dart there on the outside trying to make a pass on 28 of Tony Britt, and still just stacked on top of one another all the way to the back.
I mean, they were starting to single file out, but that big slide that forced everyone to coordinate back up to one another. This is not giving space to those that have got the French rubber on places that they want to go. And Cameron Sarton's got to be careful that he doesn't do a similar thing that we saw before with seeing Brandon Colley run into Sacchetti. This go around, you've got Sarton trying to make sure he doesn't run over Tony Brett on the entry of these.
John Dart's up to 3rd.
Back and forth, trying to pick the lane and feel the most comfortable in.
That's the guy with the fresh
Moving on
tires.
up. Damn, he got up there quick.
The outside and trust your grip. Trust the
Yeah, he's getting a push from Cam Sarton.
You can just visibly see he just is trying to pick the right lane.
Right, they're still going to be held up a little bit by Jay Becker. Now Dart and Sarton side by side. 5 had to give up the ghost.
1.5.
Now he's side by side with the 17. You are 1.5 seconds ahead of P2.
I'm going to try to follow him on the outside. Chris did
Keep me updated on the lap times compared to.
really kind of struggling on the older tires. Cameron Sarton down to the bottom of John Dart, not wasting any time getting that pass done.
Oh, 24 just had to check up, just about wrecked the 10. They did wreck. Caution's going to fly.
Caution is out. Caution is
Third
out. Line up single
driver
file.
that
Pit road
is
closed.
trying his
At
best
the
to
8 car.
find that
It's the
way.
24 got into the left rear of the 10 and
It's the
spun him
11
out.
car.
Up with drivers, it's a
the
lot more
17 car.
of
It's the
not
10
impossible.
car.
24 wreck too.
The 10.
Contact
It's the
Sarton
Becker.
to the rest of the field and let the chaos reign as more drivers
Very hard
spin
to stop
out.
you there, Becker. So, but
And
I'm
just like that,
99
exit of
point-
4,
I'm
just a
sure that's
bad
on me.
bump.
So my
Instead of
apologies.
talking about
So John Dart now, he's going to start P2.
strung out.
Jonathan Burt's going to start 3rd.
It's the
Travis Dart is going to start 4th. Andrew Medlin's going to start 5th. And Tony Brent's going to start 6th.
Pit road
For
is
some of
now
our
open.
drivers looking to make their way in.
So you're going to have newer tires around you, but again, those tires aren't too used because of those cautions.
And just looks so similar. Of just you've got the closing rate of new tires versus old, and also just raw speed. Jay Becker was someone that was running back outside of the top 15 for the start of the race, and now going to be caught up as he gets sent back up into the.
Was Collie in it?
Stitz gets clipped, but it's that contact.
Let's take a look.
The 26 That probably was the hardest lick of the wreck.
Colley's 13th, so no.
Luckily, Travis Dart did not send it back down
11.
into the
Got lucky,
inside,
dog. Let him by
into
on
the rest of
outside.
the field, because that would have been
Kind of rooting for Collie.
for everyone else. As Colley's getting on the brakes, getting through.
He fixed that damage that was on his back end.
Acquired damage going to be the 10 machine of Jay Beckard, who has to pull it into pit road and hope that the damage isn't as bad as everyone else has seen it to be.
Yeah, just a
Let the
tough break
11
for
car
Jay
by.
Becker trying that oddball strategy on those older tires. Just that closing rate, just too much for some of these guys out there tonight, and kind of an uncharacteristic mistake from Cameron Sarton to get up into somebody like that. But I mean, Sam, that's what happens with that closing rate, and things happen. But big winners out of that. Jonathan Burt now up to third, Andrew Medlin up to fourth after he was struggling before we got that caution before the stage break.
Yeah, I mean, a huge gain on positioning for themselves, and they're going to take that advantage. But with the fourth caution being out, we're not even at halfway, and cautions are a known thing to happen at Richmond. There have been races where it's been less than 3 cautions that have come out at a Richmond race, like season 1, there were 3. Season 3, there were only 2.
Getting close to halfway already.
There were 6 cautions. Season 2, there were 9. Just short track racing in general, you know that there's the chance of races like this to happen where
Hopefully we get like a 15-20 lap run here, so
so much on
we can go in a pit and maybe most of the drivers would pit. I guess maybe 20 or 30.
their lives to run for a championship.
Yeah, let's see.
Racing for the win to get in. You got drivers racing just to get points to stay in.
It looks like
Other drivers that are already
from 14th on back just went down pit road.
such a mixture out there, and that's what makes these cutoffs so exciting to watch and be a part
Because
of.
that's so a lot of people are off of their pit strategy. So when we pit,
Well, it's only a 24 car field, so it's only 10 cars.
Richmond, you never know what you're going
we'll have to keep that in mind on our pit strategy.
It's going to be a little bit more dramatic on damage that drivers grab. Now, under our stage caution, drivers were able to stay in pit road for a little bit longer than what we've seen before. We didn't really get to touch on it that much, but Cedric Hunter, as well as Brandon Colley, both staying in for extended time, losing a lot of track position that they once had. I'm curious on how much that's going to influence them, because
Lights are going to go out this time.
all the way back in 11, they could have been
All right, man,
fighting
we're
with
going
the
green
next drivers
next
that
time
were
by.
up
All right,
there
man, line
now
up on the
in
inside
third
row.
and fourth place.
Yeah, I mean, had he not got that damage fixed, would have been right up there with where Cameron Sarton was, which was that battle for second, ahead of the 12 of Andrew Medlin, who he's really racing against here tonight. But instead, electing to get all that damage fixed from the stack up.
That wreck put Sarton back in 19th.
Not a terrible call to get all that damage fixed, Sam, but the loss of track position, I think, is just going to be tough to recover for that 99.
ready.
We know he's got the speed, and we know the 12 is struggling here a little bit, but still,
Everybody, it's on you.
all that track position could be tough for this 99 machine.
Could be so
All right, man.
as well with
Late
other
card,
drivers deeper in the field. They're hoping that maybe the damage repair isn't, or the damage
Green,
they
green.
collected isn't that bad. Cameron Sarton got his damage repair, starting to look back in 19th position. Brian McCann, old tires. He's going to be starting in first place. John Dark going to be second. Fresher tires going to be in third and fourth. Here we go as the base car pulls into pit road. The Excessive Speed Sim Racing 200 is back underway. Brian McCann going to be having the lead position. John Dart in second as Jonathan Burt trying to figure out a way to slot himself into third place, but he'll stay side by side. Other drivers are going to be 3 wide further back in the field, but Brian McCann comfortable and pulling away.
Comfortable pulling away. John Dart settles into second. That of Jonathan Burt going to get in third in front of
Oh, I'm killing the right front.
Tony Brent. Going to settle into fourth, and the field kind of
I
settled.
gotta quit doing that.
Take it easy. Just run your race pace, man. Get back into your groove.
So he's back there in 8th and 9th. Brandon Colley just kind of sitting there waiting to see if he can get by.
There we go.
He's struggling a little bit as he goes high, and here comes William Duff. Leads.
Nice.
Back in the stage for Zach Paul. A little bit of moments. Slowed slightly too wide.
All right, man.
He
Caution
certainly
is out.
has speed,
Caution is
but
out.
close
Line
left
up
compared
pit
to
Caution's
a
out.
little bit
Pit
too
road is
much
closed.
getting
Catch
Well,
up.
that's
years with
That was Bill Dart.
81 laps in.
not exactly helping me.
Brian McCann leading the charge.
Nope, not much.
Christopher Lawrence looking back at Brandon
I
Colley.
need a long flag run, green flag, so most people pit.
Pit road is now open.
And it went for a wild ride off the exit of turn 2. You saw the driver just dart from the outside to the inside wall, and in an instant, there's our fifth caution of the day.
And it started in turn number one, got loose getting into the corner. I think he might have gotten a little bit of help off corner exit. If you take a look back here at the replay, he's
his motor blew.
Out of two.
Still turning 22.7s though.
His inside might have been Will Bustler, who just gets into the back of the 39. And some spinning to the inside.
Your last
for Bill Dart.
Is that right?
Go back here.
How's the rear
Tripped
look?
on entry, just a little bit too much speed, and that loss of grip. Babel's the one to get down low. Bad tap, and there goes Bill Dart hard to get back.
You actually just
wall, and that will
no, that's John Dart. Hold on, one more.
Pit road with required damage.
Yeah, 22.79, 23.111, 23.062.
Doug Pierce is doing.
And 23.0 was your first lap, so yeah, 22.7 was your second lap.
Jay Beckert, who was involved with our fourth caution today, has already called it a night. Curious if Bill Dart's going to be joining him in that spot, but the rest of the field, curious on for Brian McCann again, who's only pit once. There's a few other drivers also mixed in the field that will only pit once, but what is Brian McCann thinking about using that second set of 4 that these drivers have here tonight?
That's good. That's a good question here. You've gone almost 40 laps since his last pit stop. Now, granted, you've had a couple of cautions since then, but I would think if we get another 10 laps or so, get a caution, you might see that 8 car come down pit road. And the question would be when he does pit, which drivers decide to stay out? Does everybody come with him? And what the strategy call is going to be for this A machine? They can go on fuel a little over 100 laps, so that they should be good on fuel, but it's going to be the tires, and when you elect to take those tires, it's going to be the big call here tonight.
And when you're saving an extra set compared to the rest of the field that still have 2 sets to work with, you've got to figure out that right timing to use it. Otherwise, you might spend a whole entire race without ever using that extra set and not even having that advantage fully utilized. But for the early going of this run, not a bad place to be. The 8 has been getting fantastic restarts. The back of the field really has been doing a great job for the 8 to hold back everybody here. Not a terrible place to be for Brian McCann. As tonight's race, we do want to give a shout out to some amazing sponsors that help out in the series. That being Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing. Go get your Gamer 2 Butt Kicker instead of just.
Hope this don't turn into another Martinsville.
Sounds. Get more immersed.
Yeah, I was just hoping that. I was just thinking in my head, I hope it doesn't turn into iPacing.
Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing. For some people, they can attach their butt kicker to their seat. Some might want to attach it
to a little promising on that first run.
Man, we're going green next
level racing. Level up your racing today.
I agree.
Yourself a racing rig. Feel like you're actually in the car with the advanced builds from Next Level Racing, or go with a little bit of a budgeter item. Allows you to, with the same comfort of racing, maybe in a cheap
10 car called it a night.
Next Level Racing, thank you so much for being with us here in the Full Send Racing series. Also a great sponsor. Go on over to Etsy and check out Gersim Studios for your button box.
Get ready.
The buttons that can enable you to find ways to either change out your setups or be the best admin out in iRacing. Thank the Gersim Studios.
All right, here we go again.
On Instagram, Facebook, and Etsy. Last sponsor we want to shout out before we go green. It's the On the Throttle podcast, talking about real life racing. We'll check out the On the Throttle podcast. They upload on Mondays. I'll let you know exactly what happened on Sundays for racing action. Go check it out on Spotify and other podcast platforms. Well, we're back to Green Flag Racing, the Excessive Speed Sim Racing 200 in McCann. He's just figuring out these restarts. The 8 is on again.
The perks of being the leader on the restarts, you can choose when you go in the box and getting a great jump for himself. Going to be Burt side by side with Medlin, though, for third. Medlin with a little bit better of a launch out of 2. He's going to try to hold it side by side with the 6 machine down through 3 and 4, but might have to give that up. Tries to pinch the 6 down, but going to have to get that position up on the 28.
$22.72, $22.83.
Up there with Medlin holding on over the
10 faster.
The 28 of Tony Brent there. Brent's going to have to do battle now with the 15 of Ken Campbell. Brent on the older tires, though, through the field, and it looks like Campbell going to get through that, or maybe get that position. Brandon Colley almost thought about going 3 wide through one and
Same
two
lap time, 84.85.
of Dalton Alexander. And
Trying to match him.
he's going to have to hold
Yep.
the line down the back straightaway.
And the driver
Okay.
is off the exit of the corner, really trying to stay off that outside wall. So they are still staying side by side in the middle. Not everyone.
Caution's out. Will Bustler
Still in that cluster of trying to make sure they don't run into one another. But
and Sam Siegel.
once this field starts to single file out, that's when you're going to be losing opportunities to advance forward. But at the same moment as Will Bustler going to be
Let's see.
with Cedric Hunter through the center, and Sam Siegel as well going to be collecting a few
Those that are on the same
and man,
same tire as you are now back in 21st and later.
all the way
So,
to the backstretch
yep, looks like the five's coming in.
three. What a wild situation there for those
Pull
drivers.
your calculator out.
Just unfortunate. More contact.
Okay. What do you need?
Wreck all the way down the back.
18.7 divided by
Pulled up here, and you can see it here coming out of
0.15.
one of Bustler slides up in front of the 7 of Cedric Hunter, and just
Or is it times?
Almost got you.
back of maybe
18.7
clear wasn't clear, and then
divided by what?
Sam Siegel
0.15.
bounced up into the outside wall.
124.6.
That driver that was
What was that?
that incident.
124.6.
That other driver could have been the 5 of John Dart, but we're going to see here confirmation.
11, car by.
See the dashing the 55, throwing it down, and that's actually going to be Ross Tatum in the 21 who gets collected there with that evasive maneuver. It didn't look like the 21 took that much damage, but obviously
Do this one.
you don't want to
0.15 times
see that type of an angle. 55
120.
No,
120?
Thankfully,
Yeah.
Okay.
no
18.
in damage for the 21 machine, so we're gonna survive the dreaded engine problems. But pitch strategy playing out here: Sam Dalton Alexander, Travis Dart, Brandon Cawley, Tatum Bustler, all down pit road here. Some for damage repair, some for tires. Interesting call from some of these guys.
Thank you, Derek.
I know Collie has been trying to work on that damage.
How you doing?
Collected back under his second caution of the day. The 99 trying to get those repairs done. As the field is getting themselves set up and prepared for this restart. McCann still in a comfortable zone. Look at the
I
driver
just don't think it's time to pit yet. I mean, I'm running 22.8s.
place. That is Alex Jones and Cameron Sarton. Those are two drivers I think I've got circled up. Watching the way that they're going to try to move forward as they've got 18
Oh, I bet that's a long trip.
to 30 plus old tires.
Did you do it all in one day?
And then as well, like we
I seem to recall it's like a 15 hour
Pit
trip.
road is closed.
What speed will these drivers have? We know for Collie, he's used another set. Trying to go back and think. I think this is either his second or third set the 99 has used. That's kind of shocking.
Oh,
We're not even
but that's rough.
The 99 could be in a tire situation for the second half of this race.
Yeah, I'm going back.
Longest drive I've been on nonstop is, well,
I believe that's
stopped to get gas and like food and stuff, but
set.
9 hours and I hated it.
Like, when he came in under caution and got all the damage repaired, didn't take a set of tires, so still could have 2 sets left, but putting him at a little bit of a disadvantage on tires, and again at the back of the field, in traffic.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be stuck in traffic. We've seen it turns into a wall unless you have a 30 lap advantage on your tires, and you can easily kind of breeze your way through. Got to be a little bit
All right, man, we're going green
dangerous
next
on the
time by.
maneuvers you want
All
to
right, man,
take
line up on the
to
inside
successfully.
Ross just got tires, didn't he? Ugh.
You probably want to pull low, Brian, before they think you're taking the high side.
As Brian McCann's still leading the way for the 8 machine.
Collie and Ross.
I don't think
That's not good.
Ross, yeah, yep, lap 91, yeah.
season. We knew he was going to be strong after
We really need a green flag run right now.
They are back in 15th and beyond.
season 1 and 2.
Yeah, but they're looking good on tires if we have to pit and they get shuffled to the front.
Well, I think if you get another caution here,
He's a threat. Won the second race at Chicagoland, then won at Michigan. And he has just been periodically,
All right, man.
every other
8
race,
cars
it
in.
seems like it's the 8 who's in victory lane.
Yeah, I mean,
in the zone.
it certainly feels that way. Every other race, every
Good
time
launch.
races that 8 machine finds his way into victory lane. Plays the strategy right, runs the races to at his pace, and again finds himself up front. Been getting great restarts to get clear of the field, and just needs to keep doing that throughout the course of the night.
As the base car pulls into pit road. Hey, let's try something new as we're about to hit the halfway zone. We're back to green flag racing, and let's crank it up here tonight. Get a sense of what these cars are feeling, short track racing style. At the drivers of the
02 to 27, 2.5 tenths faster.
And here goes the rest of the field.
Pulling away, 74 to an 88.
Sorry there, well, I'm way too deep.
'85 to an 03, 10th and a half.
Tenth and a half. Damn, I slowed down.
Yes, sir. 93.03, another 10th.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cricket.
Hell, I ain't slowing down no more.
Move on to catch up to the Brian McCann. And currently in the middle of the field has been the danger zone. Ken Campbell, Zach Hall going to be battling for 5th and 6th position. Still some side-by-side action going on here tonight for the Bull Sen Racing Series on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Race Control giving you the
99.05, half tenth.
zone of tonight's race. Shout out to that of Steve
Ooh, bad turn, bad.
for tonight as well on the Wednesday nights. As my name is Sam Dyer, joining me up the booth is Trevor Earhart with Zach Hall. With that of Robert Moyer Jr. running in productions. Zach Hall, Christopher Norris, and others are getting very dangerous in the middle of the field. Trevor, this action, they're trying everything to advance forward right now.
Yeah, trying
They
every
gained a 10th and a half on you that time.
five bomb moves being made. Drivers
24 to an 09.
It's internet issues persisting for the 17. He's been in and out a couple of times for himself, making it a little bit more difficult on these drivers trying to figure out where he's going to be. And just, you got fresh tires trying to come through the field, and everybody's trying to hold on as best they can.
And to your credit,
Other drivers that just got fresh rubber, they are trying to make their move forward. William Duff, also Dalton Alexander, fresh rubber, trying to go forward are themselves, as well as Cedric Hunter trying to get by this 77 machine as the field. Three of them are strung out single file. It's just the middle of the pack that's finding themselves with these little bit of battles here or there.
10th and a half.
7, he was just caught up with our most recent incident
13 to a 28.
for himself, but Brandon Colley, fresh rubber, is now up to 11. He's been slowly chipping away. How is the patience going to collect for himself? Because he's already had a scare with old tires going up against new. And he make this pass cleanly now on Tony Brent.
Yes. The question there is almost a little
About the same lap time, 24 to 28.
as soon as Colley tries to find a way around this 28, going to go for the crossover move out of 2. That's what you got to be careful about. That difference in tires, still not able to make that pass, and 28 going to cover him off. Throw the block through 3 and 4, and this could be where we see another issue, Sam.
I mean, there's little small incidences, and maybe Brent didn't like the fact of slight contact with the entry turn 1, fighting back with the quick block.
24-33, 10th to your credit.
That big sweeping corner, Brent wasn't able to set up for the block that go around in the 99. Take that position to get inside our top 10. Brent
Working lap 107, a caution comes out. Come on down.
that runs in third. Both drivers, if they can find themselves around one another, it's all about moving forward. But that
39-36, about even.
you're right up forward with the 99. You can see them still stacked side by side, battling going on for 4th, 5th, 6th, all on top of one another.
And Jonathan Murray did battle with 12 Medlin for a little bit. Now that 6 really looking like it's starting to struggle with. He's side by side with the 15 of Kim Campbell. Then you got the 38 of Norris side by side with the 24 Cameron Sorton. Chris Stitz just kind of sitting there waiting.
42-44, perfect pace.
Colley closing in on this battle as everybody else out in front of them kind of driven away. McCann with about a 1.5 lead over that of John Dart. Medlin comfortably in third right now, but this is where that battling is.
Better hope for a caution because we can't make it on fuel.
Be careful with one another. Slightly different set of tires in between and mixed. This Cameron Sarton's got the Precious in the 24 on the inside. Trying to make his.
Oh, you can always try to save a little bit.
Then the next newest would be Chris Stitz.
But
and Brandon Colley, who's got the Precious of tires.
I mean, there's a hornet's nest behind you.
Going to be on the inside, expecting them.
There's about 4 or 5 cars right now that are side by side, and there's definitely some people on some faster tires trying to work their way through the field. It only takes one.
With finding just that of 90 laps to go. You're
32 and 53.
Still a long way to go in this race. A pit stop to be made, and if you're these guys on these newer tires like a Brandon Colley, Dalton Alexander, these guys that came in under that last caution, you need to be patient here with these new tires. Don't wear them out too much, and you can work your way through the field. This is the 6 of Jonathan Burt really struggling on that outside line. He's going to hold up the 38 of Norris, who give him a little bit of a bump through.
Battle for P2. 32 took this spot. Last time he was on pit road was lap 62.
Is Christopher Norris going to take that pass and move forward in the 38, running a Casey Kane throwback scheme that he ran when he was in the 5.
His last lap was a 50. Yours was a 38.
Going to be up to 9th place for himself. Other drivers make.
Now that he's cleared traffic, I'll get a better lap for you next time.
78 from the John Dart. The field is starting to wind into a position of, all right, if a caution flag came out,
he's a little loose off too.
Trevor, this could be the zone for their next pit stop in the whole entire field.
Yeah, the caution. Now I think you'd see the whole field in. Apart from maybe those guys who pit on that 91, they might elect to stay out, flip this track position around.
43, 44.
So, but if this goes green, this could benefit these guys that came in under that last caution, but we'll have to wait and see. Is Colley kind of stuck now behind the 17 of Chris Stitz with the Andrew Medlin cam up? See that laser focus from the 12 machine. He's got his teammate though hounding him, the 15 of King Campbell right behind him.
But I mean, this is the best position we've seen Andrew Medlin in all night long. He's been kind of
38-45, half tenth to you.
Position. Colley slowly marching forward. That 99 is a threat for Medlin to make it to the playoffs as he continues the march. The 99 does up now battling for 6th place.
Yeah, up to the inside of the 24th. Cameron Sarton's got Medlin's teammate, thankfully, right in front of him, Ken Campbell, who's kind of throwing a double block going into one. It's going to force the 24 a little bit higher than I think he wanted to be. Colley trying to maybe poke the nose to the inside of the 15, but he's going to be stuck now side by side with the 24 of Sarton going through 3 and 4. And I think for the 15 of Campbell, just trying to do everything he can to help his teammate while he still can.
Still trying to find that. It's the pullback the 24 on the entry, but then drop down
46 to a 54. Another 3/4 of a tenth to you.
These tires, tough job. Cameron Sarton's got slightly fresher tires than Ken. Colley's got the freshest tires. That's why he's got to hold up in inside lane through the majority of the corner. Trying to slow down that 99 momentum.
Yeah, try to slow it down. And this is where Colley's got to be patient. He can't really afford to burn these tires up for himself as this battle still rages on. A little bit of a bump from the next.
Colley that came down on lap 91 has moved himself up to P7.
Likes not to. And for Sarton and Colley, they've got to be really frustrated behind this 15. And this has allowed the 17 of Stitz to catch up before Dalton Alexander on that same strategy as Brandon Colley also caught up to this pack as these guys have just been stuck behind one another.
58-57, pacing each other.
Forward, they continue to stay side by side. And nowhere to go. Top 3 are
just need a caution
away from everyone else. They've got no troubles. But for 4th on back, it's looking like a war with the 15,
yes, sir.
The 12, trying everything, but Ken Campbell might have just ran out of time, holding back that 24 on the outside.
Yeah, there goes the 24 starting to the outside. Stitz trying to do the same thing. Colley is stuck on the bottom, nowhere for him to go as the conveyor belt is actually the bottom line, not the outside line. It's starting to get a little bit loose though, hangs on to it. Stitz with another blink in and out here as they come out of turn number 4. And for Colley, really frustrated, stuck behind this 15 machine to see if he goes to the outside, maybe get around the 15 of Ken Campbell. Is Sarton going to look to go to the outside of the 12 of Andrew Medlin.
This is the one thing that I've been kind of back in my mind how critical of watching Brandon. Always with fresh tires stayed to the bottom, and it gets to a point where you have to pressure tires. You've got to throw it to the outside.
Bad turn.
Move those tires a little bit to make these passes. You continue.
55, 56. You and Zach Hall still pacing each other.
Moves up to the top side now, but he's given up so much track position now to Sarton and Stitz that it's kind of a lost cause for the night now.
So, gave up those 2 spots.
Holly's only moved up 1 P6.
Based off of what we think might be the battle for points, this is where he needs to get by. He needs to get by this 12 machine, put some cars in between him and the 12 of Medlin, and he's going to get that pass done. Looks like Alexander able to get by the 15 of Ken Campbell as the 2 teammates really struggling on that.
What a weird fill in the right front is gaining grip.
Fast racing, Major Medlin and Campbell tires just showing their wear and tear. 20 to a 20.
Well, don't abuse it.
It is hurting now. No longer can block and defend, and will stay completely racing hard up front as Brian McCann. Pressure from Zach Hall or John Dart, but
no, I think it's better to take fuel, Derek.
Fit and everyone else behind.
At least it was back in the day.
That 5th place.
Unless they changed something.
Who can be making it into the playoffs is the major question. It's because Andrew Medlin, yes, he's in a place where he doesn't feel comfortable.
Fuel weight changes how the car drives.
Keep losing spots and positions. He's got to keep himself close in track position because if a yellow flag comes out, he's going to have to get fresh tires and figure out a way to fight.
A little tight there.
Positions back to the 99.
Yeah, it's going to have to get those back, and just can't give up all the track position. Already got passed by Sarton, that of Alexander, the 26 of Travis.
Loose there.
Around him. And now they're going to have Cedric Hunter, Christopher Norris behind them. But, I mean, again, Norris said teammates in the 12 machine. It's going to be the question of Cedric Hunter. What's he going to do? Is he's to be inside of Christopher Norris?
61-73. Credit to you.
As the teammates are swapping back and forth. Zach Hall, Brian McCann out in their own world for 1st and 2nd place. As we've got ourselves 75 laps to go, we're going to take our final commercial break of the night. When we come back, more racing action at Richmond for the Full Send Racing Series, the last race of the regular season, the Excessive Speed Racing Sim Racing 200 here at
Oh yeah, new tires are lovely.
Broadcasting. We will be back
Thank you.
right after this for more racing action here this evening.
Racing isn't easy.
I'm definitely getting tires if the yellow comes out. Oh, that's going to suck if the yellow doesn't. It's a green flag pit stop.
With the industry's leading.
Is that 2 laps down?
Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world.
I mean, if I have to pit under green, it's going to royally screw me.
Well, let's see. They all
racing at every level. Compete across all.
It may, but the person that came down last. All right, you're talking about lap 92, which is Collie. Is it like 100 laps even that you can go on a tank, or is it 100 plus, like 110, something like that?
Players from across the globe.
You remember that 0.15 I gave you earlier?
With friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel.
Redo it with 0.17.
So 126.
ZiRacing.com.
Okay.
1 lap down, so I might have a chance. I'll have to do some driving though.
Last lap, 75 to an 88. Another 10th.
Oh, I'm out here riding around railroad tracks about to spin out as I say that.
There's contact very nearly. He just to the outside. He breaks so much later. Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second.
32's loose also. He all over the place with the back end coming off the 2.
Line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here,
He ain't running the right line.
the move to the outside. Quick press to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Stretch on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
That's still forward.
They're gonna beat me on fuel strategy, ain't they? Ugh. I hate when that happens.
What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh my
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Aphrodite is ahead.
That'd be 2 times this week.
Who is going to get it?
Welcome back.
Maybe I can just lap the whole field then pit.
Racing Series, the final race of the regular season to see who makes the playoffs, who could be knocked out. Currently, just looking at some of the numbers and estimates of where drivers could be lining up coming into tonight, it was going to be 3 drivers that were still fighting for a chance to stay in the playoffs. A few others that were fighting for a chance to climb into the playoffs. John Dart had a 36-point buffer coming into tonight. He's looking good on points to make the playoffs. Chris Dix had only 16 points to work with, but he got some stage points and is looking pretty solid in 5th position. Andrew Medlin, though, is on the bubble. He had only a 3-point advantage over Brandon Colley. Didn't grab any stage points and currently is falling back quickly to 13th position. Colley, on the other hand, up to 3rd. Moving forward and looking fast is the 99. And for Jonathan Burt and others that were outside a little bit too far back points-wise, they were in a must-win scenario, and it's looking like it is between Brian McCann, Zach Paul, Brandon Colley, and maybe they need a heroic caution, some tire strategies, get back in the mix.
All right, John Dart's going down pit road.
Why is he?
See who's winning tonight.
Now I can hear you better. I turned up way too high.
Sam Dyer, got Trevor Earhart with me up in the booth, and Trevor.
All right, so 28, that is Tony Brandt. He's P20. Last time he was on pit road was right with you, lap 45.
Blooms, what is the fuel and tire strategy looking like?
Yeah, that's going to be the real question. When does Brian McCain come down pit road? Hasn't hit since the fourth stage at lap 45. Everybody else has made a pit stop since then, so McCann on the oldest tires. But I gotta say, looking at his lap time, he's running equal lap.
I'm guessing my
up to P3.
92. He's
a good 4, almost 5 seconds behind you.
The quickest cars on track.
I guess my strategy here is to just stay out and hope for a yellow,
He
right?
gained 2/10 on P2 last lap.
5 of John Dart going to come down pit road.
John Dart had been out on track for 84 laps and now decided to come into pit road. Also joining the 5 is going to be some other drivers over the radio saying there.
Another half-tenth.
Pit road, that's Tony Brent. And my Brian McCann, no radio over that he's going to be entering pit road anytime soon. But with a driver that pitted, and he's been out there for now 96 laps on fuel and tires on this set. He's got to be feeling some type of pain in the fuel side of things, but tires-wise, like we said,
55 to go next time by.
But the 8 still has in his tires.
Yeah, it's like that 8 machine is on rails with the lap times he's running. Just ran a 23.82. Zach Hall with a 23.9. Brandon Colley with a 23.6. So, I mean, 2/10 quicker Brandon Colley, but I mean, still same at that pace on those older tires. That's really impressive for Brian McCann.
Where is John Dart?
Extremely impressive. And if you're just joining us now, we've had ourselves over 5 cautions here tonight, and we've lost.
John Dart, he's going to be a little bit further in the back. Let's find out right now.
By his friend, Zach.
He's 20th.
As the 99 breezes his way forward, some of the freshest tires out on track is on this 99 machine of those that pitted under our last yellow. But Bill Dart still in pit road. Cole Sketty still in pit road, getting required damage.
All right, Colley's up to P2.
Back in 21st position, John Dart, William Duff, both
5 seconds back.
or the both of them as You're seeing Tony Brent, who got fresh rubber, and that speed difference showing. And Collie and Brent, they had a little bit of a moment earlier in the race, about 60 laps ago. Well, no longer. It looks like Brent just going to breeze on.
He took a 10th from you last lap. You just took a 10th and a little over a 10th back.
Let you go. I have no pressure out back, so just lets that 28 machine go. Smart move.
It's getting hard to drive.
Machine kind of running his own race, trying to make sure that he, gets
That's why they're pitting.
the position he can to
Yeah, I see you getting a little loose.
Travis start kind of following him through in that 26 machine, having another really good run for himself as he gets by Zach Hall for that of third place. So this 26 machine slowly working his way forward.
I mean, Trevor, we think back to the start of this race. I mean, both Dart brothers were running back in 19th and 20th position. It was Travis Dart that was the furthest on back. He's now up to that third place spot, and as this race progresses, if they've saved enough fuel,
you're still faster than Collie. Even though you're loose, you're still faster.
As we get closer and closer.
A little over a 10th, 2 laps ago, another 10th and a half last lap, and you were
stop. You're going at least
just a little over half 10th last lap.
Efficient, entering pit road, getting your 4 tires of fuel and get back out there.
Yeah, you got to be efficient, getting in, getting out.
28 coming by, new tires, down low, clear.
In the middle of your pit cycle, is that going to be
another 10th to your credit last lap?
Like you said, 1 lap, maybe 2 laps down, depending on it. If that caution comes out, where you are on racetrack. But they're going to have that tire advantage over these guys, and the question still looms. I mean, these guys that are pitting, Sam, pitted on lap 55, 62 in that range. McCann still again lap 45, and he's still staying out on track.
And Victor McCann also had about 3 or 4 cautions that lined up to where he was saving fuel during those times. So the 8 machine was past moments.
It's like a skating ice rink out here.
Long run. He was thinking about, hey, there's a chance and save enough fuel to save.
No doubt. 2.5 tenths though last lap to your favor.
Looking at lap times for our top 2, McCann, Ollie's got the 1/10 faster time. Now the drivers are on some fresh rubber moving forward. Ross Tatum, this 21 machine. He's been patient. He's been trapped behind drivers who would rather not be trapped behind. He is up to 6. Not a bad place to be for this 21 machine.
Not a bad place to be. Been involved in a couple incidents. Was involved in that stack up that we saw that 3, 3, and 4 that involved Brandon Collie and others.
All right, Collie's starting to come in now.
Sam Siegel after an incident with Cedric Hunter and Jay Becker down the back straightaway. So the 21 having a really good recovery run for himself up to 6th.
I'm going to guess those cars that were going by on the fresher tires kind of set him back a little bit.
Stinson in 5th place on a bad spot, and where he runs now would find himself battling for a playoff hope in a berth that.
But I still shouldn't.
4 seconds.
I still should not pit, right?
The greatest season for himself, but the consistency is trying to show up a little bit more here in recent races.
Collie can make it to the end.
I would say no. If you can make it.
It's closing in on Zach.
I can't make it.
Yeah, Collie can make it to the end. Yeah.
Driver. And what a scheme to be running on throwback night. This is the Dale Jr.
I mean, I could drive some old tires. Ain't a problem.
Did you say you can or you can't?
I can.
The number 8 on the side. It's a lettered 8 on the side of the.
All right, we'll just stay out for another 24 laps.
Junior
23 laps on fuel.
Looks like he can. Feels just as comfortable.
Feels just as comfortable. And what a fitting scheme for that 8 machine to go with as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird seeing actual numbers on that car, not just letters down the side of it, but really good looking car. And you can see McCann just working the wheel nice and steady.
3.6 back to Collie.
I mean, that's typical here at Richmond, but really just nice smooth entry and corner for this 8 machine.
The left, right, those corrections, small ones, is something that McCann has been working on even in real life racing. He's got a YouTube channel that he does karting on. I've been watched a couple of them earlier in the season. Just get a sense and getting to know McCann. And this guy's quick. He's gotten a lot of real life knowledge that helps him in the sim world. And McCann's trying his best to advance forward, get his 6th win.
32's pitting. That's Zach Hall from P6.
That's Alex in the 45 and the 55, Sam Siegel. It's going to be in front of our lead.
So he must not feel too great about those tires.
3.5 second gap back to Brandon Collie, who's slowly been chipping away at it. Lap times look like they've about equaled out for those two, but now that McCann's in this traffic, should allow that 99 to close in a little bit quicker on the state of McCann. And McCann just got to be careful getting through lap traffic. We've seen in the past lap traffic can cause issues for the leaders, and
45 behind you on new tires, looking low. You checked up.
And you get through this lap traffic, or you just get through it and then just stick to your strategy.
Looks like Sam Siegel's just going to get out of the way.
It ain't easy to drive him.
Alex Jones.
I'll give that to him.
Line for now. Those two drivers are running fourth position. The 55.
No, I don't. I imagine it's not.
For seeing McCann, he's just staying stable as Christopher Norris, Zach Hall, both going to pit for their stop.
I can't stay smooth on it. I got to bounce back and forth on it.
For the both of them. Some other drivers also thinking about maybe a stop should be made. We've got a couple of other drivers in that similar situation.
I see you sawing on that wheel.
Andrew Medlin are in spots where they're most likely going to pit, and it's going to be Medlin over the radio on for pit stop for the 12 machine.
Yeah, he's going to come down pit road, get fresh tires. He's going to try to see what he can do to flip his race around, gain some positions here, and close that gap to the 99 of Braden Colley. But doing some battle here with the 6th of Jonathan Burt, and Medlin said he wanted to pit. This is not where you want to be, Sam, on that outside.
All you can see under 3 seconds now.
And just like that, forces the 12 for an extra lap, and oh boy, are they getting a little bit mixy as Burt
38 to go.
the pass. Well, then
Nah, he's already here, Derek. I'm just going to run it.
see.
Yeah, just weird to see from Burt. Gave that position back to Medlin. Maybe felt
I'm actually pulling for Colley, so he's got to win it to get in. So
machine. He's going to go low, get on the apron. His teammate goes by there.
if he gets it, congrats to him.
Medlin gets it flowed down to pit road, but a bizarre moment between those two drivers.
If you're going to make the pass, giving it up like the way that we just saw Burt do, that's hurting both drivers again. I mean, I get
We're in a gamble situation, though.
position from you.
Yellow comes out, I might be able to get it.
Forward. Instead, he actually hurts Medlin even worse than what he did that first time.
Yeah, just slowed him up. I mean, you can tell that Medlin wanted to get to pit road.
Yellow comes out. I have no doubt in my mind that that Colley's going to go down pit road.
Down the back straightaway so you can fall in line.
Yeah, he's got to.
It almost took him.
Everybody, well, not everybody. Some people just pitted. So yeah, I'm screwed. I'm screwed because of the people who just.
Time lost for that.
As more drivers, this
Yeah, I didn't think about
Yeah,
that.
but they're going to be a lap or more down.
field is still out on extremely old tires. The other about quarter of the field going to be on fresh as the tire.
Back right now, it looks like I'll actually give you.
Drivers that are in the mixy position where
Everybody from 12th on up is only the only cars left on the lead lap.
to stretch it the fuel all the way out.
Yeah, the pit strategy here is going to be really important on how this all plays out. Will Colley, Travis Dart, Ross Tatum, those guys that came in around lap 80 to 90, will they have enough fuel to make it to the end? When does our leader finally make his final pit stop? And then these guys that have made these pit stops, how much time can they gain on these fresher tires over the course of this run? I mean, we've already seen from McCann, held his own here on these extremely old tires compared to everybody else around him. So will there be that much of an advantage for these guys on these fresh tires to really close in on people who elect to stay out?
It's going to be a race on the clock.
Colley's 2 seconds back.
You to look away, about 35 laps to go here tonight as Brian McCann has been out on track for 120 laps on this set of tires in fuel stint. Still no word over the radio on when our leader is going to pit. Other drivers that are also in question of where their fuel stint's going to be at is Ken Campbell and Jonathan Burt, over 100 laps for the both of them. But we've seen a lot of drivers that had much better situations.
Damn, I can't use the brake at all hardly.
Pit sooner, like Zach Hall Norris, as well as Andrew Medlin. Those drivers were in a better spot than our leader or Ken Campbell.
Which reminds me, if you do have to come down pit road and it's under green flag, don't forget to readjust your brake bias.
Yeah, at this point, you've made your bet. If you stayed out this long, you've made your bet. You're hoping this race goes green to the end, and you don't give up the track position to the guys who have already pit. But I mean, that's a gamble, Sam.
1.9 back to Colley.
And you get that late race caution, it can really
30 to go
in your plan. You see John Dart, Cameron Sark doing battle here, trying to get around the lap car of Sam Siegel down the back straightaway. And this is going to be I believe, a battle for position, but all the way back here in that of 13th and 14th position.
Yeah, 13, 14, 15, all in the mix. It's Cameron Sark getting back that 7.5 machine, advancing forward, putting Cameron Sark now as the lead driver of those that have pitted so far under this green flag condition as we're about to march into the 30 lap to go marker. Sam Siegel, Alex Jones staying high, allowing the 26 of Travis Dart to move forward, and for Dart. He's 2 seconds off of Brandon Colley, but Colley, since he's moved up to second place, has gained over 6/10 over Brian McCann. That's over the last 30 laps. He needs to extremely gain for Colley if he's going to just really run down Brian McCann, unless
I think that would screw me.
road.
Yeah, he's got to figure this out. I mean, he's got it down to now.
The tires are so worn down, it'd be too off balance.
To the 8 of Brian McCann, working through that lap traffic, having those fresher tires has allowed him to close in about 1.5 to 2 tenths a lap
For green flag pit stop.
run. So
2 tire on the green flag.
tires behind him, Cameron Sarton, John Dart coming through. That's going to slow this 99 machine down just a little.
I'll have to have 4.
You see down there, everything in the
2 tires on green flag. All right.
and it's been consistently green for him over the last.
No, I need to take 4.
Start working the outside lane, trying to get by this 99, and it's down to 1.2 seconds.
Okay.
These last
It'll be a full service
off
pit
4.
stop.
clinical by Colley on the amount of time that he's been gaining on the 8 machine.
All right, sir.
And even with fresh air, that of Brian McCann is being ran.
Ready when you are.
That also puts into question, is Brian McCann maybe clutching it, saving a little bit of fuel? That last lap, because of the pass, allows the 8 to get a little bit of breathing room to work with.
You got one inside.
A big question in mind for the 8 machine is he's trying to find a way to save his fuel but also attack.
Yeah, trying to save fuel. We'll see down here in the 3 and 4 if that RPM gauge just goes all the way to the bottom, means he's clutching. Looks like this early brakes. I don't see the clutch being engaged. Sam just kind of running his line, maybe looking a little bit earlier, coasting for himself to save that fuel when he can. Just trying to pull a just crazy strategy out here and stay out almost the
So you got a gap back to the 5. So you got a clean entrance onto pit road. Nobody will be right up your tailpipe when you're ready to come. When you're ready to turn in.
As much as he can.
I'm running it dry.
As he's let Cameron Sarton breeze on by on the outside is the 8. And also going to have to deal with Paul Hall.
Hoping for a yellow.
And Cameron Sarton as well as get by McCann. That's going to enable the 24 and the 32 to race.
I hear that loud and clear.
Be on the lead lap. This is critical for Zach Hall because if he can get by Cameron Sarton, that puts him
Come on, yellow.
of those that have pitted already.
A lot of cars, as I go back through the field, most cars are single file, Brian.
Back on the lead lap, he's battling to be the first car with fresh tires. If a caution were to come out,
I need a yellow flag.
a potential brewing battle for the lead.
I thought you said yellow.
So it's out.
Nope, pitting.
I need a yellow.
With John Dart, who was trying to get by him on the fresh tires, and just the differing in strategies, how it's going to play out, it's going to be crucial. Will the 8 have enough fuel to make it to the end? Has he been able to save?
Oh, got screwed on fuel.
Only about a second off from him is this.
I didn't say I was pitting either. Hopefully I don't catch that.
26 of Travis Dart, and Chris Ditz isn't too far behind him as well.
Taking the lead.
Also checking the numbers for Zach Hall after making that pass, seeing how off the pace he is.
Oh, that's a little 56.72. Ain't no problem.
Big enough where if Zach Hall keeps at this pace, Hall could just run down these drivers. He's 20 seconds off. He's running about 9/10, almost a full second faster as Zach Hall. Hall in 13th. He may try to run down as McCann into pit road. Save for Travis Dart is really.
Did I get a black?
Clear the mirror. Ooh, yeah. Hopefully that's.
Dart was going to pit, but missed pit entry.
That's a tough break for the 26.
I hope not.
Lose a lot of time.
I'm good.
Pit road. Now the question is going to be.
Your right sides were over the blue.
At the end of this race, you see Travis Dart still struggling. He's going to stay all the way on the apron. Down the back straightaway, getting that 26 machine down pit road.
All clear.
So now if you're Colley, Sam, do you stay out or do you come down pit road and potentially give up, all the time that he's lost on these old tires compared to these new tires? I think at this point he's just got to stay out as long as he can.
21 laps to go.
Clear low.
And for Brian McCann, he was out there for over 130 laps. Travis Dart now hits pit road for himself. Zach Hall is leading the drivers that have already hit pit road. He's in 10th place, under 8
I got a warning for that.
seconds off of Colley. Last lap, Colley put down a 23.9 second time. Because of trying to make passes under traffic, that's hurting him on the catch-up. But he's still running about 4 to 5, almost like he's in clean air. Close to a full second faster than everyone else is Zach Hall.
Yeah, I mean, eventually I think they'll run down this 99 machine. 19 and a half seconds the gap as he continues to pass cars just got by Ken Campbell. The saving grace for Brandon Colley, though, the 12 Andrew Medlin still stuck a lap down all the way back in that of, I believe, 16th position. Actually, I think he might be back on the lead lap, but all the way down to the 16th position, 31 seconds behind him and running similar lap times to that of Brandon Colley. So a little bit of a saving grace for him, and for that as well, now that Zach Hall's through this traffic, I mean, he's still going to have more cars to get through.
That was your box.
But we're just going to wait and see. As you can see here, the 12 and Medlin going to battle with the David Alexander, or Dalton Alexander.
Dalton Alexander staying high, third place runner.
22:51, Brian. Nice lap.
Andrew Medlin, 16th position. Driver he's trying to catch up to with the 77 William Dub.
You're pulling away from the
Medlin again, lots of time. Not to stretch out.
15 to go. They're coming back to you.
Pit. A little bit of a hesitation hurt the 12 machine over a second in time, and probably even more than that as this race progressed forward. 16 laps to go for Brandon Colley. But does Colley have the fuel to make it to the end of this race? Chris Stintz also in a similar situation. Drivers that are currently still out on track, that are in our top 6 yet to pit, it is that of Cedric Hunter and Brandon Colley that are those that are in a practically the win and you're in situation. Cedric Hunter is forced to be in a win and you're in. Colley,
now we need a caution.
Second, he would still be good to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, Colley, I think, based off of the kind of the stage points and the rough estimate, I think as long as he finishes a couple positions ahead of that of Medlin should be good, but definitely wants to get that win, lock himself in, and right now he's got, it looks like 17, 18 seconds back to Zach Hall and Cameron Sarton, and then
clear high.
You know,
Or they're not. There you go.
Those should be good with Brian
Three wide.
McKenna to get his lap back on this 99 machine. Travis Dart goes by. Here goes the 8
up.
So for Colley, I mean,
All clear.
13 laps.
The 11.
Just needs to kind of run at his own pace and hope this thing stays green.
14 laps to go. Zach Hall, 16 seconds back. He has really slowed down on catching up to Colley. As the 99 just running his own pace, keeping himself in front of Chris Stintz. He's got around 6 seconds to work with. Wants to fall back to where the 17 is. Does he decide to just keep running here? He sees the madness behind, and running as aggressively as they can is the 8 machine of Brian McCann.
E10
slots himself into 11 as the 8 is the fastest driver out on track, but he doesn't have enough time to try to run down this 99. Needing a caution is McCann, unless Colley runs out of fuel.
Yeah, I mean, based off of fuel, though, I mean, how long McCann went, Colley should be good on fuel to make it to the end of the race. The question is going to be, will this race stay green for the next 11 laps? He gets by Ken Campbell, puts the 15 machine 1 lap down. Looks like McCann gets by the 3 there, Brian Lynch, as well as the 27.
Not pinching you.
Clear
up.
Travis Dart. So McCann on a move to get back through the field. Next up in line for him is going to be Christopher Norris, Cameron Sarton, and Zach Hall, but he's about that of 2 seconds, 3 seconds behind Cameron Sarton, about 4 seconds behind Zach Hall.
10 to go. Brian McCann, his window that he's looking for is catching.
You're the fastest car on track.
First driver of those that have pitted. If he's in that slot position, he's banking on everyone in the top 6 to run out of fuel, if that's even possible. As they've been trying to save fuel the best that they can, Cedric Hunter is in the worst spot right now. He's been out there for 616 laps. As he's going to be in a position where he's questionable as Burt gets out of control. Sarton gets.
That was Sarton. Clear up.
These drivers as well have to make sure they keep their cars straight, because the wear and tear with the drivers that have pitted, they are not caring about their tires. They're putting out the fastest laps they can, and it's all go time with 9 laps to go. About to be 8 for that of the 99 of Brandon Colley.
7 to go.
Laps to go, and I mean, like you said, everybody's driving as hard as they can, trying to get as many positions as they can on these tires, and that's where mistakes can happen. Colley with a little bit of a wiggle, the 11 of Tyler Thomas with a little bit of a wiggle as well, and you're just kind of holding your breath if you're Brandon Colley, hoping to not run into an issue, hoping an issue doesn't happen behind you.
Just like in the movie 300, give me nothing, take everything.
16 seconds behind, the lap times not closing as quickly as that 32 would like it to be, as he ran a 23.7 his last lap.
Dang it.
24.1, so still gaining time, but not as quickly as that 32 needs to be.
No, but Zach Hall's about to be
Got one
passed.
outside.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
It's going to be the 8th
Still
machine
there.
I couldn't get that run,
32's
though.
up high.
away from Zach
5
Hall and
laps
has
to
been
go.
running
Still there.
almost a
Hold
full
the line.
second
This is
faster
late,
than
but don't
Hall,
go.
and has been running just
You're
as
clear
similar
high.
as
Clear high.
faster than
Clear 32.
of Collie, but Collie's been able to get by Tyler Thomas. That's a big pass for the 99. Now he just has to run smoothly for the next 6 laps, about to be 5 laps for the 99. As he continues to run forward, the pass
E7, 4 to go.
pitted is about to
Collie's going to win him one.
Sheena McCann, who dives down low, about to make the pass on Zach Hall on the entry turn 3.
Yeah, McCann buys Zach Hall. Collie go a little bit of lap track in front of him. It's going to be John Dart, Ryan Lynch.
This is 2 seconds behind him,
99, but
and they're running about equal times.
Sammy's got a little bit of clean air before he catches that lap traffic. And
Well, I said I was pulling for him.
I don't think that the 8 machine's going to have enough time to get to the 99. Might not even get
Yeah, you
to the
did.
7 of Cedric, or might not even get up to the 4 of Dalton Alexander.
No, I think he's going to stall out at maybe top 5.
That apron is not your friend in that corner.
No, it's not.
Difficult for McCann. 4 laps to go for Brandon Collie. But you think back throughout the season, that 99 machine has
Clear
had
one.
a lot of opportunities in the victory lane. And tonight,
I might be able to get a top 5 out of it, though.
Iowa, we think back to Iowa. Collie had a great chance to win at that race, got into an incident between.
Wow, you're sitting 6th right now.
But since that
White
race,
flag.
it has been
All right,
a
man.
fighting
It's
and
white flag
clawing
this
for
time.
Collie to
One
get
more
back
to
into a
go.
position to fight for a chance into the playoffs.
Take a look.
outside.
There you go.
Laps to go. Collie's looking
there.
for the white flag, and that will turn this race official.
Good win.
Just needs to
there.
get around
Hold
it
the line.
to get that white flag. The race would be official. Doesn't want anything to happen
All
here.
clear, all
7.
clear.
Iowa, even Martinsville
Yeah,
had
right.
chances
P5.
and has had speed, just hasn't had the luck go his way here tonight.
Nice work,
Involved in
Brandon.
some
Good win.
chaos through 3 and 4 with a huge.
Brandon Collie, Chris Stitz, Alexander, Tatum, and old Mr. McCann. Good run back, Brian.
Hitting him on.
Flag is up in the air
Thank you.
for the next level
There's the
racing.
flag.
A white
It's over.
flag here for the
Going,
Bullset
Brandon.
Racing Series.
Great
As
job,
Brandon
driver.
Collie.
Wow.
This is Speed Sim Racing, the pole sitter.
He needed it, and he got it.
Richmond, if you got the pole, you led the most laps.
Who would have thought after back-to-back-to-back cautions?
And for
I know, right?
Through that of 3 and 4, the exit of 4, the 99 gets his win and books his ticket to run for a championship.
What better way to make the playoffs? Not
He's up there doing a reverse burnout.
tonight. Collie plays the strategy just right, gets the win. And that's going to be a one happy driver right there. Unfortunately for the 12 of Andrew Medlin, looks like that's going to knock him out of contention to run for a championship here in 2 weeks. But Sam, what a race here tonight.
It was incredible to see the fight.
I said that just knocked Andrew Medlin out.
There was no chance that he would have an opportunity for the playoffs, especially after the last few weeks. But when Joshua Altis made the call that he was not going to be running for the playoffs, it made the numbers a little bit easier to look at. It was just a 3-point difference between Brandon Collie and Andrew Medlin. Well, why not even worry about pointing your way in? Get the win, book your ticket. Brandon Collie will be one of the 12 drivers running for a championship for Season 5. Congratulations to the Barbie Machine as we will step away when we come back.
The Barbie Machine.
We'll talk to our winner here tonight, Chris Stitz. Also, we'll talk to Dalton Alexander, and we will figure out how these drivers are feeling at the post-race show. We'll be back.
All right, Brian, I'm going to head down, grab a shower, and hit the sack. I will talk to you Thursday if you're there. If not, I'll catch you again next week.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night.
What was it? Stage, I had a good run. 57. Thank you, John. Learned something today, though. If you're in that fuel window, you better take it because the caution is not guaranteed. I think if we would have took fuel there, we would have been sitting pretty good for the win as far as speed goes. On that long run, I had everybody. I think I almost hit 24 here. Ooh, yeah, that's tight. Yeah, look at that. Hold on here. That's pretty close to net code territory there. Whew. Good thing I didn't turn them. And I was sitting there feathering the throttle too. Feathering the throttle and even got to brake a little. Hell, the 38 almost got him.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the post-race show for the Full Send Racing Series tonight.
Sarton was a sitting duck. Oof, how was that not net code?
They're going to battle for a championship. Well, one of them booked their ticket here tonight. He could have done it based off of points, but why not just lock it in with the win? We got the 99 machine of Brandon Colley. Colley, you get the win.
Oh, Sarton went wide.
You've had plenty of.
Who is this? Christopher just threw it in.
There, man. How are you feeling knowing that you won and you're locked into the playoffs?
Well, I mean, considering how the stage went, you know, that incident with Cole, I guess he had some issue. I thought the bad luck struck. I was so upset. And was able to at least get P2, and I figured, man, with the stage points, you know, I'm
ouch.
And
thank you everybody for sticking around. I'll see you next time.
You know, I didn't need it, but I finally got it. I'm pretty happy.